Hey Nico, I heard that you donated stem cells this year. How did that happen?
Well, I decided to register as a potential stem cell donor based on two reasons. In 1998, my aunt got leukemia, and unfortunately during that time there was no big network of registered donors, and so there was neither a related nor a unrelated donation possible. So there was no chance to help her. And the second thing is, since 2009 I work for Time Matters. I worked there in the stem cell logistics team. So I worked on the processes, on the transport management, and we all were very deep into the whole stem cell donation thing, so to say. And that was again when I started in the team to register and hoping for becoming one day a stem cell donor. In spring, in a Saturday morning, when the whole family were working in the garden, I got a phone call from DKMS. They asked me if I remember that I signed up as a donor. Of course, I said yes. And they informed me that I might be a potential match for a patient. And that's how it all started.
And what happened after the first call from DKMS?
Well, after the call from DKMS, I got a survey for some more health questions, asking also for my current life situation, planned travels, so just checking up if I will be available within the next weeks and month. Then they sent me a test kit for some blood samples, which then I went to my doctor who took the blood samples, and I returned them to DKMS, and maybe 1 week later I got the confirmation that I'm a match finally, and then the further planning for the donation started.
How was the day of the donation itself? Did it hurt?
When the donation was over, I was already able and allowed to go home, because in that first donation enough cells were filtered out, so to say. So there was no need for a second donation. On the next day I was a little bit exhausted, I would say. But let's say 24 hours after the donation, everything was back to normal, so to say. When my donation was finished, they told me that the product will be picked up by a courier. What happened then? How does it work, and how does such transport work?
After the donation, we have to be very quick, because the stem cells need to be delivered as fast as possible to the transplant center. A dedicated courier is delivering these precious donation to the patient. It's a very important mission, and we select our couriers carefully for this meaningful job. The stem cell team is organizing every step to deliver these cells successfully to the patient. For example, for your donation, we assigned a courier who was already performing more than 100 transports within the last 5 years.
We transport many shipments and products all around the world, so not only within Germany or Europe, it also goes intercontinental. What's the reason for that?
Only about 1/3 of all patients find a suitable donor within their own family. All others are dependent on the fact that somewhere in the world there is a person who has almost the same HLA characteristics. A genetic twin, so to speak. And of course, in the first step, this person has already been registered as a potential stem cell donor. That is why it is so important that as many people as possible worldwide register as a stem cell donor, so that blood cancer patients can be given a second chance of life.
How does a transport usually work?
Due to the ongoing worldwide pandemic since last year, we were faced with the new challenges of setting up completely new transport chains. Public means of transport were partly not usable, so we had to build new processes from the scratch by cooperating with registries, hospitals, authorities and many other parties. They were assisting in providing, for example, waivers to enter countries that were totally locked to foreign citizens. Our biggest existing innovation is the so-called hub-and-spoke process, where stem cells previously always accompanied by couriers are now transported by Lufthansa cargo freighter aircrafts on the main leg of the journey.
Cool. Thank you so much for giving us a deep insight in the daily work of the transport logistics of stem cells.
Nico, it's great to have you registered as a donor, and thank you so much for your openness and for your insights as a stem cell donor. By the way, not only me, but many of my colleagues are registered too. Please register and help to save lives.